Alright, hi, this is Lars Tvanik for Traffic Ticket Guru, and today's date is July 15th, 2010, and is also the first day that cell phones become banned in cars in Manitoba as far as you using them as a handheld unit. You can use them as a hands-free unit, but you can't use them as a handheld. Now, I was contacted the other day by City TV to give my opinion on it, and quite frankly, I hadn't even really heard that this was happening. I saw a billboard about a law coming into effect, but as City TV explained to me, they really asked me about when I said there wasn't enough education. They told me that there was a campaign that had been spent. It was $1 million figure of some sort, but that's how good the campaign was, because I don't even remember seeing a billboard or seeing a TV commercial or anything. And likely because the government did their usual poor job of marketing their material. Especially with something like this, if you're going to go after people who are on cell phones, you'd think that you would be a little more savvy and do a little more internet advertising and campaigns through Facebook, etc. Or even something geared towards cell phones where it gets the message out to the users through texting. So while they're driving, they can read your text telling them not to be texting and driving. But obviously there wasn't that great of an education campaign, and once again the Manitoba government has gone pretty much straight to enforcement, which is the least effective means of changing driver behavior. And that's just a proven fact. When you educate people better, people will make the proper conscious decision when it comes to a bad behavior. What I mean by that is, when somebody's educated, if they go to do an inappropriate behavior, now it becomes a conscious decision to do it or not, because they know they're not supposed to be doing it. It's against the law. So they're making that conscious decision to actually do it. If it comes to that point, 99% of human beings are going to make a conscious decision to not do it because they've been educated enough to know that it's not safe to do so. Now, I'm not totally against the ban on cell phones in the cars. You should be using a hands-free unit if possible. Sometimes it's just completely not possible, but for the most part you should be doing it. But do we really need a law to be created to try and change driver behavior? Because once again, enforcement is the least effective means of doing so. And a perfect example here is, if you look at the state of Georgia, they've done a lot of progressive things there with their Department of Transportation. Now, their seatbelt fine is $15. So they've been able to prove that, number one, that high fines are not a deterrent, because their seatbelt fine is $15, but because they had such a great education campaign on why you should be wearing a seatbelt, they have the highest compliance rate in the United States. So their jurisdiction has proved what studies show, that the better educated you are, the more likely you're not going to make a good decision. So I look at this as being not a move towards safety, but once again a move towards generating revenue. It's going to be one of those kind of tickets where officers are going to pounce on too, because it's very likely you're going to go to court and they're going to want to take advantage of some possible court overtime. And the government knows people are going to do it. They're not going to stop doing it because they really haven't been educated as to why they should be doing it. And people are going to get ticketed for it. There's going to be a lot of court challenges as well. I think it's going to see a day through court and see whether or not the law is even valid in itself, because you can come up with so many different examples of distractions that go on in your everyday life that where do you start drawing the line? Now, case in point, fast food. How many people every day eat fast food in their car? Just for example here, I have a typical hot dog. So, I mean, I've got one hand off the wheel, I'm eating. But I've seen people literally putting their elbows on the wheel of the car, trying to eat like a greasy Greek burger and having it not spill all over their shirt, and driving with their knees or their elbows through rush hour traffic doing this. I mean, it's completely not safe. So where do we start drawing the law? We're going to start making a law now to prevent people from eating fast food in their car? Or what about when drinking your beer in your car? Root beer, that is. But I mean, again, having a beverage in a car can be a distracting thing as well, especially if it's a hot coffee. You're trying not to spill it on your lap. You've got a distraction going for a few seconds. So will the cell phone ban, will enforcement prevent people from talking to their cell phones? Very likely not. Hey, if you want to fool around with the police a bit, buy yourself a plastic toy cell phone and just drive around with it up next to your ear and get pulled over for no reason at all and have a good chuckle. they probably won't find it very funny, but it just goes to show you can't really prove whether or not you were actually on a phone or even have your phone off. What are they going to start doing? They're going to have to start doing search warrants on people's phone records to find out whether or not a call was actually made or a text was actually made. Now, smoking in the cars. Again, how is enforcement of this going to change the behavior of a person who's smoking in the car with a child? Obviously, that person is already at the point where they don't really give a darn about the child's health to begin with. They're probably smoking in the house too. And I'm an ex-smoker, so I think I have every right to speak up about this. And I've quit a long time ago and haven't gone back. But if the high price of cigarettes alone has not deterred these people from smoking, why do you think a fine against them is going to deter them from smoking in the car with their children in the car? It's really not. Obviously, their behavior is not influenced by money. And again, if the government was all about safety, number one, they'd give like a rebate on hands-free set, because so many people have cell phones nowadays. Why not give a tax rebate on a hands-free device or a Bluetooth for your ear? Or with smoking, if they really cared that much about your health, why wouldn't they give you a tax incentive on smoking cessation products as opposed to continually jacking up the price of cigarettes? Well, because they know that a certain segment of the population is highly addicted to the cigarettes, and it doesn't matter how high the price goes, they're going to continue to buy them. So, there's my opinion on the whole cell phone issue. Not against people not using their cell phone, but I don't think we need a law created to enforce it. It's just going to end up being a cash grab in the long run, both for the city and for the officers. Now, keep in mind, just an update for everybody, July 31st, my book, Knowledge is the Ticket to Winning Your Case, comes out. You're going to be able to pre-buy by the end of next weekend. I can't remember what the date is there, but we're going to have a pre-buy up as well. And this book is going to pull no punches. It's going to be in a workbook format. We're going to go with an ebook initially, but now we found it's better to keep it simpler for everybody and have a workbook where you can make your notes right in it. And there's going to be a couple of great electronic bonuses that are going to go with it. And you'll also have direct email consultation with me so I can review your case and see if you're on the right track or not. We're going to be looking at $29.95. It's a great price. It's hundreds of dollars worth of material for that price. So keep your eye out for it. And this one is really going to truly be, I know there's lots of other ticket fighting books out there that claim this isn't what the cops and the courts want you to know about, but quite realistically, this is going to be the stuff that you're going to want to know. You're going to know all the little things like how to delay a ticket as long as humanly possible, how to make it, especially photo enforcement, a very unprofitable venture for the city and the province to continue going on by proceeding with your ticket in certain ways. But we'll get into all that in future posts. I'm going to give you a little more teasers as to what's in the book. Until then, keep your cell phone down, just slow down, drive safe, and keep your money in your pocket.